think I was going to do one more podcast before the year is out. Ha! I'm not a slacker after all. Well,
Very dedicated.
I'm very dedicated, goddammit. I love this, y'all. There was no way I was not missing the final episode of 2021.
I ended it with you.
Okay. And of course, the voice in the background, y'all already know, my lovely friend KJ. Of course, this was the man who got to the pussy. Not my pussy, but the man who got to another pussy after like 40 years later. He talks to us about love and a relationship. Introducing KJ. Hey, sir.
I'm happy to be here. Thank you so much for this opportunity.
I was telling KJ, I was like, sir, okay, we're going to have like this recording because, honey, I got 2 dates at 7 o'clock and I got to figure out which one I want to see.
You know what,
which one makes me feel better?
Hey, which one do you want to be happy with at that time?
Oh, get in, bitch.
Feel better.
It's all about how you feel.
That's how you feel. Yeah, you can feel what you want to do, but you get it's your choice. You decide what you want to do. You can have both if you want. What's wrong with having two people that they're dating?
I could do maybe a 7 to 9, then a 9 to
whatever
12,
you want them to be.
but they ain't coming. They can't come home with me.
I would have to
Not
give them a call after that, but that's me.
Gosh, I know, honey. When we're hot and fast and twat. I just like that.
Yes, we all have that ability. Yeah. Because we have to let go of some of that other stuff that kind of gets in the way of us just being our most authentic self. We've heard that phrase a lot this year. Mm-hmm. True authenticity really kind of starts with you and your own acceptance of you. So you've done that.
You know what? You're 100%. I have done that. Have you guys done that? I know you guys done that. I think that's a perfect segue to what we're going to talk about, y'all. So this episode is about what life can be if you were your only motherfucking competition. We were to really focus on whatever the hell we did in 2021. And it's not to judge yourself. It's not to say, oh, I did that bad. I did that. No. But what if we can do it better?
Yeah.
I wanted to use ourselves as examples to see what can we do better? I'll start with me. This whole thing of dating and networking. But the reason why I thought it was so important for me to tackle this on, because it has something to do with the word fear. Fear of rejection, fear of, no matter how loud and how fun I am, don't get it twisted. I still walk in a room. When I speak, when I talk, am I going to say the wrong thing? Is someone going to look at me weird? Am I going to shut down? Okay, like Charlie, you lost like over 100 pounds. You're doing great. You're doing this. Why are you still afraid? I don't know why. For myself, is I've been practicing opening up my heart. And when I mean opening up my heart to the point where it's okay that I can be vulnerable. Yeah. It's okay that, hey, maybe if I say the wrong thing, like, okay, for example, I was telling you, I went out, I was supposed to go out with this guy one night and I thought we were going out and we confirmed. He never texts me. Usually the next day, Charlie of old, I would have been like, fuck you. Don't call me, you disrespectful bitch. Right? This time, when he texts, he apologized. He was like something like, went to sleep, whatever. And I was like, oh, okay. I was just looking really forward to seeing you. So next round, it'll be great. Maybe if you can confirm with me an hour or 2 hours before if you really want my attention.
I love that because it shows that you are... understanding empathy, and you it definitely comes across where there are other situations and stuff happens. Not every perspective is what you think it is, and if you don't ask questions, you'll never find out and literally hear the person out. This is a part of learning and your growth and everyone's growth. I truly love your ability to name it. It's fear.
Name it.
You have to name what it is. And sometimes people don't want to name it. Use that word, what it's called, and don't try to compromise yourself by not revealing what it is. Because you have to be able to kind of move forward. There's no growth in that if you don't know what it is. You can't even acknowledge it.
Right? How can I compete with whatever the hell it is if I don't know it? Name that bitch. What are you naming?
So for me, as a person that has constantly about being in service of others and helping others. Yes. I feel that...
Speaking of service of others, child, I called 2 days ago. And I was like, what are you doing? And he's like, girl, I'm at Target. I said, what? He says, buying a futon. I said, what the hell are you buying a futon for? He's like, oh, child. People I love, whatever. I said, what? I'm like, here you go, child. Here you go, honey. Here you go. So, of course, my friend is always in the service of others, which is why I love you. But please, what's happening with this?
Well, this was good. This actually was very good. This is actually an early Christmas gift. That's what I told myself it was going to be. Because it's the month of December, so that's what it'll always be.
Yes,
anyway, but this is This is a person who you kind of go beyond the physical when you kind of get to know that person. That's kind of what you did with talk with that guy you were speaking of. He actually just got a new apartment, but he's so used to living with his family in a small place. So he would never really, when I would go visit him, he would always be in his room. And you would never see other parts of the apartment. And I said, why are you not doing that? No, I said, you need to get a futon. Everyone starts with a futon. It's $100.
I had a futon. I think all of us had a futon.
There's some memories of a futon.
Ooh, I had a
said,
futon.
You gonna look at it?
I didn't think a futon too, honey.
You had good stuff.
Look at y'all on the back. Anyway, we've been friends for like 20 years. I gotta understand. Go ahead.
That summer was the best summer in New York City.
Right? It was the best summer. That was a hot summer.
Yeah, sorry. To quick, the long story short, I said to him, you're going to have this futon. It'll start to make you go into your living room. Then you're going to look at it. You're going to say, it's ugly. I need to get a new one. That's going to be your motivation. Because you're not going to want that thing in your apartment. Yeah. You have to put things in there to kind of like move into another room. That's a metaphor for life.
You know what? It just reminds me of Steve Harvey. And also, this is another thing for me to step my money up. Steve Harvey says that every time you get on a plane, you should spend a little bit more money to sit in the first class. Because you're going to realize that type of experience you have in a first class of being served, from the free drinks to the blanket and the extra attention, you're always going to want that shit. And something's going to click in your mind for your next trip. And it's like that something like that is going to help you generate more money because you're going to always want that experience. I was like, Mr. Harvey,
I like that. That kind of goes back to one of the things I did. What I want to compete with, be better with going into next year. For me, being in service to others and knowing how to be help for them. When do I ask for help myself? So for me, it's always being in service to others. I always help others. And when do I have a time where I want to ask for help? And how do I ask for help? What it really is, if you want to name it, it's a form of imposter syndrome. And imposter syndrome.
Yes. Come on.
Imposter syndrome is when you've been given an opportunity, but you have such self-doubt in yourself and with what you can do, and others don't see this because you're a different person to others. But the thoughts that you have in your own head, and I'll give you the real definition here. Imposter syndrome, also called perceived fraudulence.
Woo! Sounds like some of my credit cards.
Involves, I get identity death every year. It involves feelings of self-doubt and personal incompetence that persist despite your education, your experience, and accomplishment. To counter these feelings, you might end up working harder and holding yourself to an ever higher standard. Because for me, I always say I live
that sounds so exhausting.
It is because you have to. I live a St. Francis of Assisi life where it's better to give than to receive, and you are better to understand than to be understood. But that needs to also work for you as well, and you also need to be a little bit more selfish in what you want to achieve, and realize what you think sometimes is not what they think. And it kind of goes back to what my grandma said back in the day: what they eat don't make me shit. Why am I so worried about what you think?
Oh, but it's so hard. I tell myself that every day, and sometimes I'm able to move on, and sometimes I'm not. Why?
But I think we've acknowledged it. We know what it is. We define here. I've also shared this as well, is that we can't do everything at one time. We can't, and there's a lot of stuff that we want to be able to accomplish. But we know we can't do it all. There's a quote that I'll try to find later, and I'll share it with all of you about you can only do one thing. You can't do everything. And if you've named it fear, I'm naming it imposter syndrome. What is that one thing that you can start with that you can release that self-doubt or perceived fraudulence? Why am I calling myself a fraud? That's deep.
Yeah.
Well, you would never think, what? You have to tackle those things because we do like to know what others think of us. That's part of being human. That's how we have the different emotions that we have. But all emotions are good for us. We can't just deal with the good or the bad, but deal with them all.
Yes. You know, the funny thing, when you say imposter syndrome, some people ask me, they're like, Charlie, you're not posting as much on my IG. Getting to the GETTING to
the sound of it,
baby, get to it. But some of my people, they were like, how come you're not posting on there? And I have been posting maybe 2 or 3 times a week, but I've been going through. It's getting better, but I haven't been feeling physically the best.
Okay.
You know, and I know it's the holidays. We've been eating and. Like, I haven't been running like I should. Like, now I'm getting back to it because I was like, okay, I feel way too awful. But it's just, it was weird. It was like I usually take a picture every day.
Yep.
I didn't feel like taking pictures. I was like, oh, I don't deserve to take this picture. I don't though, And the fuck, and I was like, oh my gosh, what's up with me?
As you're saying this, how did you cope with that in that moment? What were your coping mechanism to get through that?
First of all, I had acknowledged what was eating me up.
Yep.
What was eating me up was guilt. Guilt that there was a time I would work out 3 hours a day. Mm-hmm. Now that I'm back at my job, I move into a place or whatever. Bitch, I'm barely cracking an hour and 20. It's like I used to run and be fit, and mind you, I haven't gained guess what, y'all? I gained 3 pounds. Who gives a shit? But it's one of those things where, I've bragged about not gaining any type of fucking weight for the past 2 years, which I didn't. Mm-hmm. And those 3 pounds probably came on my period, by the way. But it was just thing of disappointment. Like I let myself down, I let others down. I'm a fraud. I can't talk about this no more.
No. Here's the thing.
Yeah.
I don't know anybody that has not been impacted by this pandemic.
Yeah.
Impacted by their physical experience, even how they express themselves.
Yeah.
But we have to give our own selves space and grace, mm-hmm. because your success is not determined on your productivity. Mm. And you can always say you're going to be doing all these things, but what is like the qualitative, going back to work terms, the mm-hmm. qualitative way in which you can showcase your success? Mm-hmm. And how do you measure success? You do, mm-hmm. based on what you decide that it is. Those mm-hmm. are your values. I would not sell yourself short because you don't know what impact you have made, and you don't need to post everything to let people know that you are still here.
Oh, bitch. So y'all heard that? Okay, he's telling me this, but can you please tell the audience that, please? Tell the crowd that, please.
Okay.
They needed that too.
Okay, you don't need to post every day to know that she's still here.
And y'all don't need to post every day to let other people know that you are still there either.
Some of the best friendships I've had, but I haven't talked to these people in like 4 years. Oh, shit. And you come back and you do good.
Well, I ain't gonna do that shit.
No!
I hear you though.
I'm not saying that, but I think separation is good. Yeah. But it also helps. You need your own reflection time. That's very important. One thing I definitely learned, and going to do more, and you did this. You have to have your moment of meditation. Yeah. And if you don't want to call it meditation and you don't know what that is, or maybe you have never been exposed to it, your reflection time, or journal, or create a reflection table. Yeah. Something where you can look back at your success and what you've done, because we don't do that enough. We don't celebrate our own wins.
We don't.
We celebrate others. We don't celebrate ourselves.
That's true.
And it's so wrong with that. That's good.
That is true.
It's so good. What I was trying to find, there's a thing I did at work about behavioral coping mechanisms or problems and other things. But I'm sure you cope with it. You acknowledged it. That's what it was. Good. Look at you. And there's nothing wrong with that, because you know what? You don't know what everyone else is thinking about.
Yeah.
And why should that be any of our business?
Yeah.
Unless they make it so, they've communicated to us.
Would you like to be in love next year?
I think so. I do. I would like to actually travel more and find that love outside of this country.
Ooh,
still thinking about Africa, but there are certain things that have come across in my life where I said this to you the other day. Like one summer, I don't know if it was this year or last year, I don't know. I was dating three different guys, all within the same summer, and I said to myself, "Why is this so unique?" And it was so unique for me because I found something that was special to me in each of them. And I use that as my safe place. So when I do find that one, all aspects will be in that one person. That's how I coped with it. But you are getting to a place where you need to kind of find your own love. So Edward Everett Hale, he wrote this quote: "I am only one, but still I am one. I cannot do everything, but still I can do something. And because I cannot do everything, I will not refuse to do something I can do." I'll say it again.
Repeat that, please.
I am only one, but still I am one. I cannot do everything, but still I can do something. And because I cannot do everything, I will not refuse to do something that I can do. So for me, and I hope for every audience and for yourself, as we go into 2022, can you believe that?
Woo! Do you remember when it was 2000 when it was 99? Bitch, I remember 1996.
It was weird. This has been very strange.
This has been crazy.
2021 was not always the best year for a lot of people.
You're right.
But we need to really focus on us. That's the number one goal. And those other things, that one, something that you can do, but you can't do everything. You can show up for others, but show up for yourself too.
For example, ways I'm showing up for myself next year, and this is competing with myself, right? Being better than I was this year. Ways of showing up is I want to write more lists, more to-do lists, more SMART goals. This year, I really wasn't specific on what I wanted. It was just more like, hey, continue losing weight, be happy, just live a great life. I did all that shit. Yeah. But I'm like, ooh, what happens if Charlie can get specific? Like, hey, live happy, have a really hot husband or whatever I want to marry. Or, hey, get that yacht.
No,
right? It's this thing about being specific. Like, how am I going to show up? What exactly tactics are you going to do?
What for me, what I've learned, and then you've done this as well, the power of what we manifest. We're so powerful creatures to bring things to life that we say we want to do. What are those things you want to do? I learned a lot, being able to kind of say, I'm going to claim this, now I'm going to make it happen. Find that thing that is probably doesn't take a lot of work on your end, but makes a big impact on your life and others. You will be completely satisfied. And your purpose will change, but you've done it.
Kind of feel like I'm doing that now. I like it.
You are.
Yeah. I like it. So can I ask you, like what you're doing now, would you do anything better next year of what you're doing now? How would you do it better?
Face out the timing and the planning.
Of dating, correct?
Of dating. But also, you have to also make sure the other person's at the same level you are to understand if you need to move forward or backwards or they can get it.
Well, speaking of level, I put this in my last podcast and people were laughing and it makes sense because I was like this thing about dating. And ladies, y'all was with me and some men too, y'all heard me. It's this thing about, not having someone to go to your house on a first date or whatever. If you meet them in your house, you're going to get kind of stuck in your house and that's it. But I have this thing where it should be okay to take me out, or it should be okay for both of us to go out. If I can afford a $23.99 riblet dinner at Applebee's, you should be able to. True. And if you can't do that, then we shouldn't be together. Not saying I want a $23.99 Applebee's meal every day, but it's this thing about like.
Well, and for me, I can always think I have to take care of everything because what I encountered with. I went to the store thinking, and I'm pulling out mine. No, it was taken care of.
That's beautiful.
Food is also being taken care of too.
And he cooking. I'm so excited. Oh, I love men that can cook. Seriously, it's so great. It's so great. The way to my heart, cook for me. Cook for me and give me lots of head. And motivate me and tell me I can do it. Oprah style.
I can't find the other quote about competition, but you're competing with yourself. You want to be better every year. Every day.
Every day.
You want to try to be better than what you are before.
So y'all, let's do an activity right now. Love my pragmatic work. If you guys can let's take about 30 seconds, 40 seconds. Maybe you can take your phone and grab your phone. And just think of 2 things that you would love to compete with yourself. Something that you did this year that next year you can damn sure do better. Let's take that moment. You ready? 3, 2, 1. All right. Y'all know I can't count. My 30 seconds was 15, but it's okay.
One of mine was sexual. Ever since that episode number 3, I've encountered another.
TFM?
I just talked about it, and look at I manifested that.
Wait, TFM?
Yeah.
So okay, wait. So talk to me about it. Well, you guys, none of y'all are happy. Wait, don't leave this studio, goddammit! Who's your TFM coming over? All right, he's gonna come back to it and let me know. So you were saying that you were going to be better on what?
Well, what I was going to say is that I need to make better decisions because I need to figure out what I really want to do. Do I really want to stay in the, being with men lane, or am I having so much fun with the pussy?
Yes! It happens. And you know what's great is, you don't gotta choose. Of course, if you do decide to get into something like Faithful and shit, you would have to choose. But it's the thing, I'm so happy for you. How free is that?
I'm sexually complete, as we have talked about episode 3, yes. But I also need to become more attuned to my own needs when it comes to what exactly do I really want in that sexual partner. I definitely have sex with men and trans men, but you know, I recently had another experience which was really, really, really great. And is that something that I can sustain? Having these different moments of like, okay, am I going to do this? Am I going to do that? I just have to come more to terms with that because you claimed this FTM plug, and I didn't think it was true, but true.
You are the FTM plug. I love it, honey.
It's fun. What I love about it more is that when I'm with, and this is not for every trans man. Every trans man is not the same. Everyone has their own journey. But I love where I can help you be comfortable to accept what your identity is, what you think it is, what you know it is, and what others may think it is not, or if it is. You're accepting of what you are doing right now. You're accepting of yourself. And what makes you feel good is what happens in that moment. What makes you feel good as you're doing it is what matters. Thinking too much, that gets in the way of what you have felt.
Well, speaking of thinking too much, I think I told you one of the last things I want to leave you guys with is that when I was telling you, KJ, earlier, someone was trying to get me to understand the elements that make me. They're like, if you were a soup, and if you were going to bring the stew of Charlie wherever you need, and you need these ingredients, what would it be? And I was thinking about, like, what am I? What am I? What am I? And then I think I told you, I heard sometimes we are products of what we learned growing up.
Yep.
And I heard my father's voice, like, how dare you? Who are you?
Yeah.
Who are you? Who are you to do that? Who are you? You know? And then I realized I have been living my 3 years in the power of I am.
Yep.
I am. Not who the fuck are you? I am. Like, how dare you? No, I can't. I can do whatever I am. I have a right to do whatever I want to do. True. I am powerful. I am rich. I am wealthy. I'm kind. I'm sexy. I'm raw. It's like I'm helpful. I'm useful. What's the wrong with saying who you are? And I realized in my family, there was so much shame of this thing of I am. You're not supposed to be. You're supposed to be small, micro.
Yeah. Yeah, but I think what it is that you have to get into a point where I'm going to say my daily affirmations for me. I'm going to affirm who I am, as you're saying. And one of them is like, you are worthy. I am worthy. I am worthy. You are worthy too, but my worthiness doesn't mean that I'm better, but at the same time it may be, because I am who I am.
Get in.
You know what I mean?
And as you say, what is your favorite line? I'm looking at your wall right now. Please repeat that. That's your tagline.
Hold true to what is deserving of you.
Whew. So it goes back to the dating, right? Why I won't go to no one's house. I don't deserve that shit. That's not deserving of me. So therefore I shouldn't have to argue with someone and what's deserving of me.
Very true.
You know, when you're at your job, ideal of respect or the ideal of money, hold true to what's deserving of you. If that's not your thing, then maybe you got to go somewhere else.
What I love about that, as you're talking about, is what you value. What your value are is, they believe they belong to you. They're exclusive to you. And quickly, story on this: there was a seminar at work, and they're talking about, okay, what do you value more? And sometimes I value money. There's no, you don't. Yes, I do. When I was the employees started to say when he was younger, he didn't have much growing up, and so he wanted to say when he gets older, his children will always have three meals a day because they have money. He said, so the instructor says, no, sir, you don't value money. You value security. That's what you really value. And somebody else said, well, I value money because I get to travel wherever I want to go, blah, blah. I pass where money's always been okay. I love money. No, you value freedom.
Ooh! Get in.
So we have to figure out what we value, what those things are, and those things really are much more than some of the tangible monetary things. Find what the value you have, and they're your values. They're no one else's. You know what I mean? And you bless your day, bless every single day. Part of the choices. You can share that if you want, like Caroline missed. I saw this TED Talk about choices, and one of the choices is to always bless your day, because nothing is ever going to repeat itself in the exact same way. When you have that in your mind, you're going to hold true to what is deserving of you.
Woo! Y'all getting all these gems for 2022? I told y'all I was going to hook y'all the hell up. God damn it. I said we was going to waste this episode of this year.
Oh, that was good. I thought it was very good, actually.
Hell yeah.
Thank you.
So, yo, I hope that you end this year amazing. But I also hope that you get ready to prep yourself to live your best lives, the better version of you, the better version of your life, whatever the hell you want, and really dip into the power of the motherfucking I am. Y'all can do this. Mm-hmm. And of course, what my friend says is hold true to what is deserving of you. Y'all bitches hear me. Y'all hear me. And if you're not a bitch, y'all hear me, family. God damn it.
That's right.
Because you know what? That's how you get to your pussy.
Oh.
Ow. He probably gets to later on. We love y'all. Thank you, KJ, so much for coming on again.
Thank you. I'm happy to be here.
Yes! All right, y'all. Y'all take care. Bye.